Speaking of impact, let's talk about how Good People seeks to combat the mean world syndrome. And the book addresses this, caused by exposure to negative news. How do you hope these positive narratives help leaders and readers shift their worldview?
Yeah, so the mean world syndrome is a media theory coined by George Gerbner in the 70s, and it basically says that, the information that you digest, the media that you consume can affect your worldview, which seems like, pretty true on the face value of it. So that if you and it can have real physiological effects too. So if you're constantly being shown reasons to think that people are untrustworthy, that they're violent, that the world is a dangerous place, you are going to start thinking that people are untrustworthy, violent, and the world is a dangerous place. Now, that is partially true, right? I mean, nobody would say, no, go out there, everything's fine, and never pay attention to what's going on around you. But the converse is also true. There is a lot of good stuff happening too that doesn't command the same attention, like we've talked about. The danger that comes, I think, that I was thinking about is like, okay, well, if you start digesting that information and it colors your belief, and then you start moving about the world in a way of distrust and anger, then it becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The more people who start moving around like that, the more people who see, enemies everywhere, the more enemies they're going to be because they're going to start moving around the world in that way. And I think we see that happening among people where they see danger at every corner versus, the alternative, which of course needs to be balanced with being pragmatic and real, which is saying, okay, I want to be conscious about digesting an alternative proof points about people, that there are good things happening among individuals, between individuals in big ways and in small. I'm going to let that color my kind of understanding of people. And then when I carry that out into the world, I'm going to interact based on that feeling. And it doesn't need to be so clinical, right? It's genuinely a feeling that you get inside of you and that you don't have control over. I think a lot of people can probably identify when they've been really stressed or bad things are happening and they get cut off in traffic, and you may flip the lid as a result. Versus maybe something great just happened. You had a really good interaction with somebody, you get cut off in traffic, and it doesn't bother you. Or, who knows, maybe you even slow down and let the person in, right? So that's like kind of like a small way of looking at it. But I think inviting that worldview in a conscious way and to let it have unconscious effects can be quite important.
I've seen that as well, and how the internet really distorts reality towards fear. But positive stories can change that perception. And it's not about ignoring hardship, like you mentioned, but about restoring faith that kindness is the rule, not the exception.